I'm going to talk about the myth of stressful fitness. It's a myth. You know, there are 100 benefits of exercise, and 95 of them happen before you ever begin to add intensity. So the thing about fitness is that there's how many things can you think of that have 95 benefits? There are so many benefits to exercising, and people tend to get wrapped up in it needs to be hard or it's not valid. That's so far from true. What we really need to do is become consistent at exercise. The word consistency is the biggest word in my vocabulary because it's so important. When you're consistent, you just practice things again and again. So what happens when you practice? You get good at it. And intensity comes with feeling good about it. So you know when your sister sneaks up behind you and scares you, and she goes, boo! And you go, and then you look around the corner, you look around and realize it was just your sister, and you go, that's actually a real strong mechanism that happens within the body. There's two types of things that happen in your nervous system. One is basically fight or flight, and the other one is rest and digest. There's always tone from both of those going on. And when there's a little bit of both, that's called coherence, and that's what we're looking for. So as we're playing around with this deep diaphragmatic nasal breathing, what most people do is breathe in their chest, and it's called chest and clavicular breathing, and it's shallow. You might recognize this kind of breathing. And that's more indicative of a stressful experience, right? But when you're breathing into what's through your nose in what's called deep diaphragmatic nasal breathing, it's so much more beneficial for the body, and it's actually what your body does when it's at rest. So what you're doing when you're practicing deep diaphragmatic nasal breathing is you're sending a whole bunch of signals to your body that this is a stress-free experience. It is completely possible to exercise both at significant levels of output, but also for very long periods of time, and be completely as if your body is at ease and stress-free. And it's because we focus less on the cardiovascular aspect and more just on the respiratory system, you know, where there's an emphasis on the breath and big breath. If we can become efficient and effective at our breathing, it's amazing how efficient and effective we can be during our movement. The best way to look at it is when you're breathing shallowly in your chest, you breathe like 35, 40, 50 times a minute. And when you're breathing deeply through your nose, it's more like 12 to 15 breaths a minute. So you end up being extremely efficient and effective in the way you use your breath.